The Legend of Jigong Chapter 9.
I want you to imagine a scenario. It's a nightmare scenario, really.
Okay, I'm listening.
Let's say you've borrowed something. And not a cup of sugar, not a library book. We are talking about a priceless, magical family heirloom.
Oh boy. I could already feel the anxiety spiking.
It gets worse. You take this thing out and you lose it.
No.
But it's not just lost in a gutter somewhere. You find out it was stolen, sold, then flipped for a massive profit, and is now hanging on the wall inside the home of the most powerful, dangerous politician in the country.
Wow.
You can't ask for it back. You can't sue him. You are, for all intents and purposes, a dead man walking.
That is a catastrophic level of failure.
Right. So you're desperate, you're sweating, and a friend tells you, hey, don't worry. I know a guy.
There's always a guy.
But the guy he knows is a homeless, eccentric monk who is constantly drunk, lives in a ruined temple, and tells you the only way to solve your problem is to hire a clay statue to commit a felony.
A literal divine heist.
Exactly. Welcome. Today we are unpacking Chapter 9 of the biography of Jigong. And I have to say, this story is absolutely unhinged in the best possible way.
It really is. It's a wild ride. We're looking at the legend of Jigong, who is often called the living Buddha.
Right.
But if you're picturing some serene monk meditating under a tree, you need to just throw that image out the window.
Okay.
Jigong is a trickster. He eats meat, he drinks wine, he mocks authority.
He sounds less like a saint and more like that one chaotic friend we all have who somehow, always lands on his feet.
That's a great comparison. And in this specific story, we get to see him operate at his peak. It's a story that involves high-stakes artifact trafficking, some very questionable medical practices, and my personal favorite part.
I think I know what you're going to say.
A labor dispute between unionized gods.
The labor dispute is incredible. We will get there. But we have to start with the MacGuffin, the object that starts all this trouble.
Right.
What exactly are we chasing?
It's a scroll called the 5 Thunder 8 Trigram Heavenly Master Talisman.
The 5 Thunder 8 Trigram Heavenly Master Talisman. That is a mouthful. It sounds like something from an RPG video game that gives you, like, plus 50 damage.
It's a very serious object.
Oh.
A painted scroll, an heirloom belonging to the Du family.
Yeah.
Now, our protagonist, or maybe victim is a better word, is a man named Li Guiyuan.
Okay.
He's a wealthy man, but clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed. He borrows this talisman, presumably to study it or just admire it.
And he makes the classic blunder.
The fatal error. He takes it to a restaurant.
See, this is what I don't get. If I have the Mona Lisa in my bag, I'm not stopping for happy hour.
You would think. But Li Guiyuan goes out for food and wine. He's having a good time, gets a little tipsy, maybe gets distracted. At some point, he looks over, and the bundle is gone.
That stomach drop moment.
The text says he stops eating immediately. The panic is just absolute. Because if word gets out that he lost this thing, his reputation is incinerated.
You can't just pay them back.
No, it's irreplaceable.
So he goes into crisis mode. He sends his servants out to play detective. And surprisingly, they actually crack the case pretty fast.
They do. They're competent. They trace the theft to a local criminal known as the White Money Thief.
White Money Thief. I love these folklore nicknames.
It's got a ring to it. But here is where we see the economics of stolen art. The thief knows he has to move this hot merchandise fast.
Right.
So he sells this priceless talisman to an antique dealer named Lu for 30 taels of silver.
30 taels. Is that a lot?
For a scroll like this.
Yeah.
No, it's a fence price. It's pennies on the dollar. But Lu, the antique dealer, he's a shark.
He knows what he's got.
Oh, yeah. He turns around and sells it immediately for 500 taels.
Wow. That is what, a 1,600% markup?
Nice work if you can get it. But the real problem isn't the price. It's the buyer. The dealer sells it to Prime Minister Chen.
Prime Minister Chen. Now, for the listeners, we need to contextualize this guy. He's not just a bureaucrat, right?
No. In these stories, Prime Minister Chen represents the absolute peak of worldly power. He is untouchable. His estate is a fortress. The text tells us the talisman is now hanging in the Geshen Tower inside his compound to, protect the house.
So Li Guiyuan is stuck. He can't knock on the prime minister's door and say, hey, your guy sold you stolen property.
Exactly. Accusing the prime minister of that would likely get you thrown in a dungeon or worse. Li Guiyuan is paralyzed.
And then the pressure ratchets up.
Of course. The original owner's son, Li Xiaotong, shows up at Li Guiyuan's house.
Of course he does.
He says, hey, my dad needs the talisman back. We have a big family sacrifice ritual tomorrow morning.
Oh, the dread, the I need it tomorrow deadline. What does Li Guiyuan do? Does he confess?
He lies. Through his teeth, he tells the son, "Oh, I noticed a tiny tear in the mounting, so I sent it to the shop to get repaired. It'll be back soon."
He's buying time, but he has no plan.
Zero plan. He is staring into the abyss. And that is when his friend, Zhao Wenwei, steps in. Zhao sees his friend is on the verge of a breakdown and suggests a Hail Mary.
Okay.
He says, "We need to go to Westlake. We need to find the living Buddha, Jigong."
Now, they're in Hangzhou, they head to Westlake, and I notice the text spends a lot of time describing this walk. It's not just they went to the temple. It's very scenic.
It is, and that's a very intentional literary device. They are walking along the Su Causeway, which was built by the famous poet Su Dongpo.
Ah, okay.
The text describes the peach blossoms, the weeping willows, the view of the Lifeng Pagoda.
It sounds like a postcard.
It's a scene of perfect classical beauty and tranquility. The author is lulling you into this sense of peace right before he throws you into the chaos of Jigong's world.
And the chaos starts before they even reach the temple. They're pushing through the crowd, enjoying the view, and suddenly a voice screams out Li Guiyuan's name.
Not just his name. The voice yells, "Li Guiyuan! Don't bother going to the temple. Hand over your 10 taels of silver and the 400 coins in your belt."
Whoa, that is oddly specific. That's like IRS audit-level specificity.
It's the exact amount of cash Li brought with him to treat the monk to dinner.
So naturally they're thinking, wow, this monk really is clairvoyant. He knows my name and my bank balance.
Exactly. They rush over, thinking they've found their holy man.
What?
They see a man wearing the tattered robes of Jigong. But when they get close, it's not him. It's an old Taoist priest.
Okay, hold on. This part confused me. A Taoist priest wearing Buddhist monk robes. That's like a Catholic priest walking around in a rabbi's vestment.
It's completely absurd. It's visually striking and totally inappropriate. Li Guiyuan is baffled. He asks, "Why are you wearing Jigong's clothes? And why are you shouting about my money?"
And the explanation is just peak chaotic energy.
The Taoist explains that Jigong came by earlier. He ate all their food, drank all their wine, ran up a huge tab, and since Jigong had no money, he literally pawned the clothes off his back to the Taoist as collateral.
He ate him out of house and home and left his dirty laundry as a deposit.
Basically. And he told the Taoist, "Don't worry, just stand here. A guy named Li will come by. He has 10 taels and 400 coins. Make him pay you to get my clothes back."
That is manipulative, but also kind of impressive.
It establishes Jigong's character perfectly before we even meet him. He possesses this divine knowledge. He knew Li was coming, knew how much money he had, but he uses that omniscience to pay off a bar tab.
It really subverts the whole idea of a saint. A saint shouldn't be pawning his robes for booze.
No. So Li Guiyuan, he has no choice. He pays the ransom, grabs the bundle of robes, and they head to the sinking temple where Jigong is crashing.
And when they find him, well, the living Buddha isn't exactly floating on a cloud.
Far from it. The temple is described as destitute. The Taoist disciples are practically naked. They're so poor. And there's Jigong sitting on a chair, half naked, barebacked, probably hungover.
If I'm Li Guiyuan looking at this guy, I'm thinking, I am going to jail. There is no way this guy is getting my talisman back from the prime minister.
It takes a leap of faith. But his friend Zhao insists. So Li Guiyuan swallows his pride, bows, and hands over the clothes. He explains the whole disaster.
And Jigong's reaction is interesting. He doesn't say, "I'll pray for you." He's very transactional.
He puts his clothes back on and says, "No problem. I can get the talisman, but there's a condition."
There's always a catch.
Jigong says, "I know your wife is sick. I have to cure her first."
Which is a shock because Li never even mentioned his wife.
Right. It's another display of that supernatural knowledge. But then comes the warning. Jigong says, "I will cure her, but you have to understand my methods. It's going to get physical. I might have to roll around on the ground with her. No matter what you see, do not interfere."
Whoa. Pause. You are asking a wealthy, respectable, traditional man to let a dirty, drunk monk wrestle his wife.
It's a huge ask. In that society, the rules of propriety between men and women were incredibly strict. For a strange man to touch a woman was scandalous. For a monk to roll around on the ground with her, that is social suicide. It's beyond taboo.
But Li agrees, which just shows how desperate he is.
Exactly. They go to Li's house, and we get to meet the wife, Madame Lin. And the situation is grim. She's not just sick, she's violent. The text says she is chained up because the servants are terrified of her.
She's completely lost her mind.
Yes. So Jigong enters the arena. Does he chant a sutra? burn some incense?
I'm guessing no.
No. He starts running laps. He runs around a large fish tank in the courtyard, screaming at the top of his lungs, "Oh no, she's going to kill me. If she catches me, I'm dead."
He's baiting her.
He is actively provoking a psychotic break. And it works. Madame Lin snaps. She breaks her restraints. It's all very chaotic, and she starts chasing this monk around the fish tank.
It's pure slapstick comedy. You have a living Buddha running in circles, screaming, and a furious woman chasing him.
Until the accident happens. Madame Lin is running so fast, she trips. She hits the ground hard, and the physical shock is so intense that she vomits. The text explicitly says she spits out a pile of phlegm.
Amazing.
She wakes up on the floor, looks around, and asks, "Why am I here?" She is completely lucid. The madness is gone.
Okay, we have to unpack this. Because to a modern listener, vomiting phlegm cures insanity sounds like medieval nonsense. It's gross and random. But there's a logic here, right? This is rooted in traditional Chinese medicine.
It is. The diagnosis in the text is phlegm confusing the heart.
Phlegm confusing the heart. What does that actually mean? Because when I think of phlegm, I think of a cold.
In traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, the heart isn't just the pump for your blood. It's the seat of consciousness, the spirit, the shen. It's your mind.
Okay.
Phlegm doesn't just mean mucus. It represents a substantial stagnation, a blockage formed by thickened fluids or energy that clouds clarity.
So it's like a spiritual clog.
Essentially, if this invisible phlegm rises up and shrouds the heart, the shen can't reside there peacefully. The mind becomes obscured. That is the explanation for madness or mania.
But where did the phlegm come from? The text actually gives us a backstory for Madame Lin, right?
It does, and this is the tragic part that gives the story weight. The outline mentions she had a brother named Lin Tingyu.
Lin Tingyu, the black sheep.
He was a wastrel, a total loser. He squandered their entire family fortune. Madame Lin kept trying to help him, lending him money, and he just kept burning through it.
Oh, that's rough.
Finally, he showed up at her door in rags, begging for more. And that feeling of betrayal, that hopelessness, that's what caused it.
The emotional trauma.
Exactly. In TCM terms, that intense, unresolved emotion caused the fluids in her body to congeal into phlegm and rush upward, blocking the heart. She snapped.
So Jigong's treatment, the running, the screaming, the physical exhaustion, it wasn't just him goofing around.
No, it was shock therapy. He needed to create a physical and emotional crisis intense enough to dislodge that blockage. The fall and the vomiting were the physical expulsion of that phlegm.
He physically knocked the crazy out of her.
In a manner of speaking, yes. He forced the stagnation to break.
That is fascinating. So Li Guoyan is stunned. He's thinking, okay, this guy looks like a mess, but he just cured my wife. He orders a massive feast. He is all in.
He is. He's ready to trust Jigong with the main mission, the talisman.
So they are sitting at dinner, and Li asks the big question, how are we getting the scroll out of the Prime Minister's tower? Is Jigong going to sneak in, use magic?
Jigong shakes his head. He says, "I won't steal it. I'll hire someone to steal it."
A thief.
Not a human thief. He says, "I'll hire Weituo."
For those who don't know, who is Weituo?
Weituo is a Bodhisattva. If you walk into a traditional Chinese Buddhist temple, he's the first major statue you see. A fearsome-looking general in full armor, holding a heavy staff. He's the guardian of the temple.
So Li Guoyan is confused. He says, wait, you mean the statue, the clay statue in the temple?
And Jigong says, yes. But then he drops the most important line of the chapter. He says, even gods need to be paid.
Even gods need to be paid. This sets up what I think is the funniest sequence in the whole text. Jigong leaves the dinner table to go negotiate.
He treats it entirely like a business meeting. He goes back to his own temple, Lingyin Temple, stands in front of the Weituo statue and says, I have a job, steal the talisman. What's your quote?
And the statue talks back.
In Jigong's reality, yes. The statue demands 5,000 cash. That's 5 diao.
Okay, 5,000, is that a fair price?
It's decent. But Jigong is cheap. He lowballs him aggressively. He offers 500 cash.
10%, that's insulting. You can't offer a contractor 10% of their quote.
The statue thought so too. Jigong says the statue lifted his face and refused to speak to him. It was a hard no. The negotiation collapsed.
So Jigong doesn't give up. He goes to a competitor.
He walks over to the great Buddha temple down the road. He finds their Weituo statue and offers him the job. But this Weituo asks the question. He asks, did you talk to the Weituo at your temple first?
He's checking if the position was already offered.
Right. Jigong admits, yeah, I did, but he wanted too much money.
And what does the great Buddha temple Weituo say?
He says, I can't do it for less than. If I undercut him, it would be disrespectful to my colleague.
Wait a minute, are you telling me the gods have a union?
They essentially have price controls. They won't scab on each other. It is a hilarious projection of human bureaucracy onto the divine. Even the statues have professional courtesy.
That is incredible. It implies that the divine world is just as petty and rule-bound as the human world.
Exactly. It's not a mystical realm of pure light. It's a workplace.
So Jigong is 0 for 2. He's running out of options. Where does he go next?
He goes to the purple bamboo grove. Now, this is described as a much smaller, poorer temple. He finds the Weituo there, and the text describes this statue as starving and wobbly.
A starving clay statue. That is such a vivid image. It implies the temple gets no offerings, no incense. This god is hungry.
Exactly. He is desperate for work. So when Jigong offers the job, this Weituo doesn't ask about the other statues. He doesn't ask for 5,000. He said, I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Name your price.
It's the gig economy of the gods. The established professionals can afford to say no, but the starving freelancer will take whatever he can get.
Precisely. Jigong hires the wobbly Weituo on the spot. He runs back to Li Guiyan's house and says, good news, I found a guy.
I just love the image of this wobbly, slightly broken statue agreeing to rob the prime minister because he needs the cash.
It's fantastic. So the heist is on. Jigong tells the family to set up an altar in the courtyard. They have to wait for the stars to come out.
The tone shifts a bit here, right? It stops being funny and starts getting a little tense.
It does. The slapstick fades.
Yeah.
It's night. The family is anxious. Li Xiaotang, the son, is pacing. Li Guiyan is just praying this drunk monk isn't scamming him.
And Jigong stands at the altar. He begins the summoning. It's a very specific chant. I am no other. I am no other. Westlake Lingyan, the monk Jidayan. If Weituo does not arrive, when will he?
It's an invocation of authority. He's asserting his name, Jidayan, and calling in the contract. He's not praying for a favor. He's demanding the service he paid for.
And then?
The text gives us a massive cliffhanger. Just as he finishes the chant, a voice thunders from midair. I, the god, have come.
And that's it.
That is where the source material excerpt ends. We are left right at the moment of arrival.
Oh, come on. We don't get to see the statue sneaking into the prime minister's tower. We don't see it, Mission Impossible, creaking its way past the guards.
Not in this section. But the implication's crystal clear. The contract was signed. The wobbly Weituo has arrived to earn his paycheck.
I can just imagine this wobbly, starving statue creeping through the window of the prime minister's mansion, trying not to knock over any vases.
This fantastic image.